morning, friends. I'm walking through the alley, heading over to grab my car and come back and pack it up and head to Southern Illinois for training that starts tomorrow. And it's already noon and I should have left already. This is hands down the hardest part for me of going on these new adventures is the transition period. So procrastination is what I've been doing, but that's okay. It's not too bad of a drive. It's a beautiful day, so off we go. Hello, my friends. I'm heading out in my dovetail workwear overalls. I feel like I should spam those a little more on my channel because they're freaking awesome. If you're like a lady person who likes to work and do outdoor things in cold weather, even if you're not like a blue collar worker who needs them for that purpose, they are so awesome. They're fleece lined, and I love them so much that it bums me out when it's too warm to wear them because they're like jammies. They're a little heavier in terms of like the actual physical weight of them. I love them so much. They have tons of pockets. They're flattering. They're super flexible. They have reinforced knees, all kinds of cool features. But I have a discount code for them and I never talk about them on my channel, which I probably should a little bit more. You can get 10 bucks off, and it's dovetailworkwear.com and the Kindred Trucker at checkout for 10 bucks off. Check them out. I'm home for pretty much just a day because it's a 5-hour drive each way. I got done a little early on Friday and drove back to Chicago. Traffic was hellish, as one might expect. And then today I'm just running a bunch of errands and getting ready for the next few weeks, and I'm probably going to stay down in Southern Illinois for my training for the next 3 weeks before coming home again. I'm not sure what the plan is to get my truck back up north, but I'm sure they will figure it out. And I didn't understand at first why they brought the truck down there when I'll end up parking it up north up here. And then my trainer was talking to somebody and he explained it and I was like, oh duh. Like basically the trucks that they have down there and the truck that he drives is a day cab, and they wanted me to get used to going into the fuel racks in a sleeper truck because the dimensions are a little bit different. So one big difference that I'm going to have to get used to is the lower clearance, which means less space inside the truck. But I'm actually kind of welcoming that because one of my problems in life that really frustrates me quite a bit is I have a tendency to over prepare for things by packing too much stuff. I just have paranoia about not having every possible thing I could need. And then that sort of gets magnified when you're in a truck and you can't easily stop at places. Especially now, it's even more possibly complicated because I'm in the type of truck that you can't just park at a Walmart parking lot necessarily. You really need to park it in a place where it's going to be supervised. And one cool thing about Gemini is that when I do a 34 on the road, I had to do that. When I do have to do a 34 on the road, which I will, which is fine because when you're getting paid what you're worth, it's not that big of a deal anymore. But you get put in a hotel, which also makes a 34 much more palatable. A 34 somewhere far away from home where you actually have room to stretch out and to possibly use a fitness room, which is pretty typical in a lot of hotels. And so far, I get the impression that this is a constant. They put you in a good hotel, which is great. It's not like, 4-star hotel, but it's not a 1-star hotel either, or motel. It's a place that you feel comfortable in. I think I still have pizza crumbs on my face because I'm currently working on a Lou Malnati's pizza that I got last night, and I'm gonna take whatever's left of it with me to the next hotel that I stay in for the next couple of weeks, just so I have a few more days of delicious Chicago deep dish. It's so good to be home. It's where I am down south, it's just a vastly different place. When you're used to living in a major city, you have access to so much, especially in the way of food and grocery stores and stuff that you just don't have in a lot of other places, and you kind of take it for granted. So while I'm here, I'm excited to go shopping. I'm also excited to go hit up my local library where I have a couple of books reserved, a couple Agatha Christie's, and I think a Dean Koontz. I love me some murder mystery fun, yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I haven't really read Agatha Christie, and I've been on a huge Stephen King kick for a long time, and I feel like I've kind of already read through a lot of his best work, and it's like, you need to go back a little farther. I need to read more women authors, and why would I not be reading Agatha Christie? I love this kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to go get. And God, my car needs a wash, man. It sits in a dusty yard all day, and it's like, I want to wash it, and then I'm like, should I bother? But no, I am going to do that too, and just run errands. All the usual stuff that you do when you're home on home time. I'm partly stalling because I don't want to lose this awesome parking spot, but unfortunately, that's the cost of doing your errands in Chicago. So I'm going to head out, and yeah, that's about it. But training is going well, and I'm really excited because this week, one of the typical type of facilities that we go to is where you actually load the truck with fuel before you deliver it to the Love stores. I have to be watched by an employee at one of these facilities actually going through the procedure without any help of loading the truck with fuel, and I'm finally at a point where I'm ready to do that. So it's taken a little bit of time. None of it is hard. It's just that you have to do everything in the right sequence. And I have attempted to take a bath in diesel a couple of times, and thank God my trainer is a really nice guy, really patient guy. He's great, and he could have let me learn a harsh lesson to, maybe get something through my head and not repeat a mistake or something. But thankfully, he did not do that, because I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, if I got doused in diesel or gasoline, worse maybe, I don't know, they're both terrible ideas. My clothes, it would be so hard to get that stuff out, to get them really clean. It's never good to take them into any type of public washing machine, which is the only option that I have to wash that stuff out. And what would I do? Have it in my hotel room or in my car and stink up those environments like diesel or gasoline? Oof. These are things that are just reality, or like real concerns of the job. Someone in my comments on the last video said something like, we all get doused in, it's not how he said it, I forget. We all get take a bath in diesel at some point or something. And I was like, please don't let that happen to me, please. I think that when you're new, you have to just go really slow in between steps until you learn everything that you need to do to avoid that outcome. So that's what I am doing. But anyway, that's all I got for now. I'm gonna go run my errands, and I'll catch you later. Hello from end of day in my hotel room. I'm so tired right now. I had a very difficult time getting through this day because of fatigue, because I just came back from home time, and this is the kind of situation where it's better to like minimize home time, because it's a long drive and there's not enough time in between to like really relax. And then coming back to a hotel, at least the way I pack, I'm getting a little better, but I'm still not great at it. My car still feels kind of like a clown car, but like 2/3 as much, because I do not pack light. It doesn't work like that for me. I just got back from what felt like the longest day ever, made some good progress. Basically, I got approved for access at a couple of the important terminals that we have to load fuel at. Last night in this hotel they put me in is so nice, dude. I'm so grateful, so grateful. I switched hotels from the last one I was at, and this one has a bathtub, and I requested that because I take baths for pain, and trucking equals pain for me, unfortunately, a lot of hip pain especially. So I'm about to run myself a hot bath and relax. I have a really nice sparkling rosé, non-alcoholic, of course, that I'm really enjoying, and that's like such a thing to look forward to after a long day. But last night, whoever stayed in the room above me was partying hardy, okay? And I think they must have gotten back from their party sesh at like, I don't know what time it was. It felt like it was 12:30 or 1 or something, and my alarm was set for 2:45, and it made this day so hard. My brain was not working, and things that I normally remember just fine were not accessible in my brain. Thankfully, I told my trainer, I was like, I reserved the few brain cells I have for today for those tests, let's just call them, that's not what they're called, but you know, thankfully I had him drive for a little bit, partly because I needed to make some phone calls, and then I sort of like low-key zonked out a little bit and just closed my eyes. But the passenger seat in my truck has no adjustments, so it just sits like stick straight. It's not comfortable at all. So after that he's like, you know, I'll drive some more if you want. I was like, I'll drive because at least the driver's seat is more comfortable. And once I got one of my classic power naps, I felt dramatically better. But yeah, I'm beat. I'm so beat. I'm gonna take a bath and I'm gonna zonk out and hopefully get some sleep tonight, because I just checked with the front desk and that group that was in the room above me last night has checked out. There's no one above me tonight, so I'm gonna be able to sleep much better. And the bed here is so comfortable. I'm like, I'm gonna ask what kind of mattress this is, because I need to buy one next time I actually have a bed, which has been a long time. Okay, side notes, tangents, tired. Talk to you later. Oh, the other thing I didn't tell you that was the mishap of the day, which thankfully was like involving diesel, but not in the way that could be really bad in my job, is we were fueling the truck at the end of the day, like actually putting fuel in the truck versus putting fuel in our trailer. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm such a zombie. And my trainer said something to me, and I had just put the pump into the driver's side tank, and I didn't check to see that it was fully like resting in there correctly, and I just like start walking and I'm like, huh, and the thing goes flying, and thank God it didn't get on me, but it got all over the fuel tank, all over the ground. It went so far. I was like, oh, and the smell, and I was just like, oh, I'm that guy today. I'm that guy. You know what, you got to have mishaps. They happen to the best of us, so what are you gonna do? Good morning from the hotel gym. You can hear kids in the background. I'm not really a kid person. I don't hate kids. I actually think they're awesome. Like, I think they're so much more real than we are as adults. I was pretty cool when I was a kid, I'd like to think, but oh my God. Oh. But I like them in small doses, like many people, you know? There's a reason I don't have kids of my own. Not to say I don't think I'd be good at it. Maybe. I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't think anybody could say that if they don't have kids. They have no idea, right? It's a whole thing. But I have I was raised in a very strict household. Children should be seen and not heard. That was a common refrain. Lots of corporal punishment, or at least a fair amount, which I'm not saying is a good thing, but it is a thing. No, like, talking back and not consistently being fed things like soda and candy as like normal, or fast food, like just stuff like that. And I know when I say all these things it sounds judgy, but it's just me describing my actual childhood experience of, like, you know, I was part of really the last generation of kids that played outside and didn't have screens staring back at them from the time they were 3 years old or younger. I think it's younger these days. So I have a very low tolerance for like being in public places and kids that are like running and yelling, and like that was 100% not tolerated when I was a kid. It was like, do you want me to take you outside and bend you over my knee, is the kind of phrase that is very very well embedded in my brain for some reason. Early formative memories. And again, I'm not saying that's great, you know, because it's a little much. It's a little aggressive. You don't need to be that. You need to put the fear of God into children, or the fear of belts. Because I still have, when I think about this, I can't not think of a very specific rose-shaped belt buckle, which is not to say, I'm not trying to say I was like hit with a belt buckle. Don't take it like that. But I remember that belt. But, oh my God. Yeah, I could hear kids in the hallway running back and forth. And I heard these kids running through the hallway back and forth down the hall, and it's like 8 something in the morning, and I hear the mom going, okay, go, like she's telling them to race each other, and I'm like, you're in a public place, like this is 100% not appropriate. That to me is like, I don't know how people do stuff like that. I don't know how people think that's okay. It's not your house, it's not your yard, it's not your neighborhood. And if you really want your kids to burn off steam, I get it. Take them outside. There's plenty of room around this hotel in the just various areas. There's grass, whatever. Take them out there and tell them to race each other out there, not down the hallway inside the hotel where people are sleeping, that people work all kinds of crazy hours. But a lot of people don't think like that. That's my rant about staying in a hotel where there are too many families. The other hotels I've stayed at were nowhere near as nice as this one. This hotel is great. I'm actually about to hit this thing. I've always been a very anti-elliptical person, but I'm having a lot of like hip issues, and the treadmill is a no-go right now. So not that treadmills are awesome either, but that's another story. So we're doing this for a little bit, and with the right amount of resistance and the right, holding your posture correctly and everything, you can actually get a decent workout on an elliptical. Who knew? I'm not awake yet. It's already, that clock says it's almost 4 p.m. or 4 o'clock. It's around 9 a.m. I think. I slept until, I stayed in bed until like 7:50 or something. When I sleep in like that, I usually feel like I feel now, which is headachy and kind of like slow, but that's okay. I'm just so grateful to have gotten some sleep and to have a couple of days off. I need them really bad. So gonna just get caught up and get energized and have a good day and enjoy the sunshine.